Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Yolanda and I recently went to Disneyland Paris. So I went from the 6th of July till the 10th, so I had a good 4 days in the park, and obviously 4 days is a lot of time to spend money on merchandise, and I did buy quite a lot of stuff, so I thought it'd be really helpful to show you guys so you can have an idea of what's in the parks this summer, what's, you know, in the parks all the time, and also the price you're gonna be spending on them and how much money you probably should take to the parks. First stuff I am going to talk about is not Disneyland, it is the Walt Disney Studios, which is the parks next door, and a lot of people do go there as well as Disneyland. So I thought I only got two stuff, so I thought I'd show you them first to get it over with. So the first thing I got from Walt Disney Studios is this little tray. So it is set out as a old-fashioned ticket, so it says Admit 1, Walt Disney Studios Paris, entrance ticket, and then a ticket number on the sides. This is incredibly cute, and I'd seen it on a couple hauls on YouTube as well, but I wasn't quite sure I'd want it. It didn't look as good as it did in the videos as it does in person. It is actually quite nice, and this little thing here, I don't know what it's put on with, I'm not that technical, is not coming off anytime soon. I've already used it for like keys and rings and, you know, all that kind of jazz, and you can use it for sauces as well if you're into that thing. Anyway, this was €6.99, so about €7 really, and that's nothing actually that I think. And obviously you've got product exclusive for Disneyland Paris, so you're only going to find it in the Walt Disney Studios in Paris, other than the other equivalents they have in America and that. So the next thing I got from Walt Disney Studios is this popular one people get, and it's this production little, I don't know what you call these things, but I know they use them in movies, and they use them in, I think they used this specific one as well in the Motor Action show, and I think it's kind of like a memory for that, because that was quite a cool show. So anyway, you've got, it's a chalkboard material, so you could get chalk to this and start writing. I don't know if I will. I don't kind of want to damage you. You always see my fingerprints everywhere. This was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. This was around $16.99. I thought it was going to be like $12, $13, but no. And it doesn't have much use to it. My mom was going to think of using it as a list, but I was like, no. That's just a little, like, little thing to have in your room, little memories. So the next thing I got from the parks are something that's not shown in hauls on YouTube for some reason most of the time. So they do have this thing you can have when you go on rides and loads of places. You can get photos taken on the rides, and you can buy the pictures, and you can buy frames. In Disneyland Paris they have a little offer, which is handy if you're going with two for those kind of people. So you can get 2 photos in really big frames for €20. So that's like €10 each, which is not bad. So I just thought I'd show you the frames because they are really decent quality, because we had in mind to just go to the parks and get, like, take our own photos and then buy frames from the parks, but they were like 30 quid. So anyway, this frame is from the Rocking Roller Coaster, the Aerosmith ride in Walt Disney Studios. So it is literally a really big frame, really good quality, stands up. You could obviously put a little stick on there to stick it up on the wall if you wanted as well. So these are huge. They kind of try and cut off the people that weren't next to you, which is nice because you don't really want a randomer in your photo, but we did get a little randomer there, hello. So yeah, this is set out like a recording studio, super cool. And then we got one from Space Mountain, which is also very, very nice. So it's the same set again, it's nice and square, got the thing on the side to stand up, and it's got Space Mountain, then it's got some of the bits on the ride, so some of the tunnels to go through, and on this one they got rid of the people behind us and put astronauts in it, which is quite cool. And for €10, it's like, it's nothing really. The next kind of items I got were, well, the first one is pretty, it's the one you see on all the hauls. You can go in the parks, you can buy popcorn, and you get a nice little bucket with it. So it's got the characters of Mickey and Minnie, and Daisy and Donald. And this was about €6, I think. It was really expensive for popcorn. And it said salt, but warning, mine had, what's the other one? The other one, salt, sweet and salt as well. So I was like, oh, but you know, the bucket I took home because I thought I could use it for anything, and it's decorative. You could put makeup brushes. If you want to collect pennies, you put them in there. A little bin maybe, I don't know. But you know, it's got a nice pattern on it, and if I paid that much for popcorn, I am taking the bucket with me. And another thing I got was from the shop Constellations, which is the shop you come out of in Buzz Lightyear's Laser Blast. So anyway, I've already got it in my keys. It's this nice little key ring. So you can see it's a Mickey themed one. So you've got the Mickey head, the Mickey glove, shoe, a Mickey Mouse little badge, and his pants. And I'd went to the parks and I haven't bought anything completely like Mickey. Well, I kind of have, but not something solely Mickey Mouse I can take round, and I never have for some reason, and he's like the head honcho, so you know, it's a nice thing. And I got it for about $6.99 as well, so a bit expensive for a keyring, but all of them were the same. You could get loads of massive Marvel ones, like my boyfriend got a the Hulk's hand, and that was the same price, but it was so much bigger and heavier, and it was like so you know, but I'm not a big fan of the Marvel films, sorry, so I didn't get any of that. But I'll move on to figurines now. I got 3 figurines, if I'm right, figurines. So the first one I got was of the beautiful Tinkerbell. So she stands on a leaf and she's in a little dress, and her face is nicely painted considering they hand paint every one of these, and some of them come out a bit weird and I'm very overexposed there. I was worried about taking her home because of the wings, but luckily they are stapled on at the back pretty nicely. Super sparkly dress as well. And it's Tinkerbell, and Peter Pan is one of my favourite evers, and you know, she's a massive figure in the Disney parks, Paris especially. So going on with Peter Pan, I wanted to get this massive bauble, and it was of a treasure chest and Peter Pan sitting on top. And I think Tinkerbell was on his shoulder or something. But that was about €40, and I couldn't commit. But I found this littler one which was €25, and it's so adorable. So it's Captain Hook on his ship, and I think that's meant to be the house that Wendy lives in, and then you've got the bauble on top with Pierre inside, and you've also got Big Ben, which is obviously everything they fly over when they go into Neverland. Really nicely painted again, detail. You've got cannons on both sides. You've got Disneyland Paris. So yeah, this was €25, completely worth it. Didn't break in my case, thank God. So yeah, this is already on display on my bookshelf over there, so it's such a nice piece. And it's not much of a snow globe. You kind of get glitter inside, as you can see, but that's basically it. And the final figurine I got is of a character that you never see in the parks, hardly. So this is Princess Jasmine from Aladdin, and she Disney does all these figurine types, and I have Belle and Ariel over there. The same kind of style go on, all glittery dresses, all well made up. Her face isn't the best painted, but out of the day that I got this, all of them were horrendously painted. So, you know, I got the best of a bad bunch. This was again $12.99. all the figurines, these type of figurines were $12.99. But yeah, I got it just because they did Jasmine, and they never do anyone that I truly love, like Pocahontas or Mulan or Jasmine, so they did Jasmine. I was like, I can't pass up this opportunity, I'm getting Jasmine. A Disney haul wouldn't be a Disney haul if you didn't buy any mugs at the Disneyland parks. So I got 2 mugs this time. I've never actually bought a mug from Disneyland Paris just because I've never been a tea or coffee person. Well, I used to be a coffee person, but I quit caffeine stone cold. So I kind of get these for decorative pieces. Maybe when I move out in September I will start to use them for like water and that, but so these will probably never get damaged by me because I'll hardly ever wash them because they're on display. But the first mug I got was this huge Aurora mug. Aurora, disclaimer, is my favourite Disney princess of all time, even though she only has 17 lines in her film. So in this mug, but huge, so you get Aurora in a little frame there, and then you get the basket of flowers or whatever she was collecting on that day when she was singing Once Upon a Dream. And you can also see all her fairies, so Flora, Fauna and Merryweather. And then on the back they had different sayings for different princesses. So this one says heart full of song, which is truly me because I tend to sing when no one's in this house. So yeah. And the second mug I got was an absolute, oh my god, is the beautifulest thing ever. I've seen this on tons of hauls. I know it's not original. So this is a stack of cups into one mug. And it's all Alice in Wonderland, so obviously on the side it says drink me there, and it has loads of sayings like I'm late for a very important date, we're simply mad about tea, and drink your tea or off with your head. So it's all like that. Both these mugs were $12.99, the same as what you'd buy for a figurine. So if you kind of compare the two, I wonder how they got it at the same price, because then mugs seem so cheap. So as well as mugs, you can't go to Disneyland and not buy a plushie. The plushies are the cutest thing ever. I wanted to buy so many of them. I didn't in the end because I had to stop myself. I had only brought hand luggage, so I bought quite a lot of stuff. I couldn't put any more plushies in. But the first plushie I got was such a special find for me. I almost cried. It turns out they do have Pocahontas merchandise, but it's only the animals in Pocahontas. So I managed to get the most cutest Percy plush ever. Now Percy was the pug in Pocahontas. He was like one of my favourite characters. He's so funny. He's not a big plushie, he's just one of the kind of smaller ones, but for a smaller one he was €24.99, which to me is bizarre because the next plushie I'm going to show you is a lot bigger, a lot more detailed, and it was cheaper. So I don't know if it's because he's such a rare character to see, or maybe it's something to do with what material they've used on him. But yeah, whatever money they were going to make me pay, I would have bought Percy because it's Pocahontas themed, and you never see any Pocahontas stuff in the parks. So the next plushie I got, which is a lot bigger, a lot fluffier, and a lot more stuff going on, is Doug from Up. Now, Up, I hadn't seen it when it came out. I'd seen, not recently, but I'd seen it a couple of years ago. Fell in love with it. I fell in love with Doug, especially. And he's super he's super fluffy. And his cone of shame does come off to show his voice box. But, I prefer the cone of shame on him, to be honest with you. I think it's just super cute, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, he was €20. So if I just, bear with me, if I just put these together, you can see that Doug is a lot bigger, a lot, you know, got more stuff going on. And this one was more expensive. And this one looks like it used more material as well. So I don't know how that works. I'm not going to ask. Now, the next stuff I got were like my random buys I didn't know I was going to get at the parks that I hadn't seen on many hauls. Well, one of them I hadn't seen on any hauls at all. So the first thing I got was Mr. Ham from Toy Story. Now, me and my brother absolutely adore Toy Story. It is up there with one of the best ever. And Mr. Ham is my favourite character, and Rex is Ryan's, but the Rex plushies just look so bad. I cannot explain to you. So anyway, this was €10, I think, so I thought it was really good. So he is a money box as he is in the film, and you do get his little cork there so the money doesn't fall out. He is beautifully painted on the sides, but the only problem was to hold this cork down, they had put like a sellotape across and a sticker on the price there that spread to his feet and his belly. I haven't tried taking this off yet. I'm sure it will come off, but that's a warning. If you do go there, please check the bottoms of Mr. Ham's because they're all filthy. To be honest with you, filthy. So the next thing I got was this beautiful box, and it had Rapunzel on it. Well, they had all the princesses on it, but I hadn't bought anything Rapunzel, and she's, you know, she's good. So it was just beautifully decorated around the side. And then on the back, it had this little spinny thing, so I was like, oh my god, it's a music box. So you open this here, and she pops out, and it's got a nice mirror, and it's beautifully painted. Her face is actually immaculately painted, considering they hand paint these. And then if you just play it, it's really sensitive. It's really scary. This sometimes plays during the night because it's so sensitive, so if you get a good gust of wind, it'll start playing. But I'll just do a little... So moving on to the final buys of this haul. So I've been wearing this one the whole haul video, and it is a nice t-shirt for the parks. So it's a Mickey head, and it has loads of Mickey characters, and it has loads of rides and stitches right there, and the castle. This is a large. I didn't want to get a large, I wanted a medium, but on the day that I bought this, it was on like one of the final days as well, so I needed to get it, and they didn't have any mediums, so I bought a large. It is large, but I tend to tuck most of my tops in anyway, so it's not a problem. Like, I can work with it. It's not that large either, so... So this was €20, only €20. They had a red version as well, although the red version was... They've done it so that blue is for boys and red is for girls, because all the red t-shirts were like girl characters and all the kiddie rides, and I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not conforming. I'm going for blue, and blue had the best rides on it anyway, and blue is a nicer colour than red. So I got that. And moving on to the final thing that everyone gets in the Disney parks. They have a deal at Disneyland Paris that if you spend over €25, you can get a massive throw for your bed for $9.99. That is originally $19.99. So I'm going to attempt to show you this now. So anyway, this is a huge throw. It's probably for a double bed, and it's so super Mickey. And that is it from the haul, and that was a total of like, I don't know, about 18 things. I don't know. I went crazy at Disneyland Paris because I didn't know when I'd be going back, because we're currently planning to go to California again, and you know that it doesn't just happen next year, it's going to be in 3 years time. So that was all the stuff I got, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helped in any way. If you're going to Disneyland soon and you wanted to know what you could get and what the money you would need, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, comment, rate it, subscribe if you want to. This is my first video on my channel, so I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just thought I'd make it anyway. So thank you guys, and see you later.